This is the return side. This is the supply side. Oh, we've got a little Ryobi tiller here. The guy I got it from said it did have compression. I don't know if it's worth even looking at, but the pull cord's all messed up. The fuel tank is missing the grommet, and the fuel lines are all dried out and hanging there. But I thought I'd take a quick look at it, see if it's a quick, easy fix. Maybe it'd be worth it. Give it as a gift to a friend who has a little garden. Otherwise, it'll go right back in the trash. Let's do it. First thing I want to do is check this recoil and see if I can free that up. Like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of money on this, if anything. She's a rusty, gummed up mess in there. Mercy, mercy. Full of moisture. I think this thing's been sitting outside, just soaking up the rain. I'll take this over to the workbench just to see if I can free it up. Well, it didn't break. So we'll keep moving forward until we stop or until it's running. Whew. Oh man, this is just all gummed up and stuck on here. Let's see if we can free this up. Oh! She's got a little want to her. Oh! Hey, good morning. It's all spring loaded down in there. You just want to set that elbow in there, kind of self-explanatory. And then there's a pin that sticks up there and a hole right there that goes right in that. There we go. You got to make sure you get that down in there. Then I can put our screw back in. She's good. We'll keep moving forward. I'm going to lubricate these little clips here. You can see this one's sticking a little bit. But that's what the recoil grabs onto, turns the engine, and once it starts, it releases so it can spin free. All right. Now we can pop this back on. There we go. I'm just going to pull this there until I can get it down. Don't want to over tighten these and bust it, so I'm just tripping the trigger. I'll pull our pull cord back through. She's a little squeaky. I might lubricate the cylinder a little bit with some fogging oil. You could hear how squeaky that was when I pulled it. Oh, this is loose. But who knows what it looks like down in the cylinder. I want to at least lubricate it. Oh, look at the plug. Looks good. Spray a little fogging oil in there. Since that thing's been sitting out in the who knows what. I'll give it a few pulls. See if we can free it up. And I'm going to go ahead and check for spark while I've got the plug out. Now to check for spark, you got to touch it to metal. This is all plastic around here, but the head's metal. So I'm going to put this against there and set this against here if I can. You just have to touch the base. And then you're looking for a spark right in there. Okay, again, I don't know if this thing's a piece of junk or it's going to work, but I'm just going to do a quick test and see if it'll fire. Take the air cleaner off. Cute little filter. Now I'm just going to shoot some starting fluid in there. Maybe I'll try to pour some 2-cycle fuel in there. But just to see if it'll fire. Oh, I was going to say the choke doesn't even work, but it does work. And let's see if the throttle will move. She's a little sticky. And that throttle cable's all gummed up. I'm pulling on it up here, and it's not moving down there. Oh, there. Oh, she's moving a little bit. We'll keep moving forward. The reason I'm doing this is because I got nothing hooked up at the fuel tank. It's all messed up. But I might have a grommet for that. That's why I'm trying this. Now let's see. It does have a choke. We'll try that. On, off. I got it on. Oh! Hey, hey, hey! Hey, doggy! The old girl wants to run. Now it's coughing and spitting because all that fogging oil in there. But I guess I'll see if I can get some fuel hooked up to it. I'm just going to pull the fuel tank off. And the fuel tank is filthy dirty. That's where I need that grommet. And then I can hook up a couple fuel lines. And the purge bulb is not cracked. Wouldn't that be something? If I just hooked this up and then off it went. I got to get the mud out of here. Well, I got hope in this little machine, so I'm going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit and see if I can find that grommet that goes in the fuel tank, and hopefully we've got a little tiller that'll be nice for somebody. Okay, on to the next step. We need a grommet for the gas tank. And I went online, I called different suppliers and asked them about this grommet, and they said you can't buy just the grommet. You have to buy the whole gas tank. So I went online and looked for the gas tank, and you can't buy this gas tank anymore. It's discontinued. I'm telling you all this because sometimes to get parts you need to come at a different angle. Well, what I did is I looked for fuel lines for this machine, and it came with the grommet. Just arrived, and we'll pull it out and see if it's a fit. And I can return this. This was off of Amazon. The nice thing is you can return it if it's not right, if it's not going to work. I'll just throw this in here. It looks about right. Oh yeah, beautiful fit. Nice. Nice seal inside, seal outside. Nice and stout. So we can continue moving forward. And this was $11.13 with tax. I got some filter covers, I got some gaskets, I got a new bulb, I got a spark plug, I got 2 fuel filters, and a couple extra fuel lines. I've got usable things in here that are beneficial to me. So let's go back out and start working on the machine again. Since we've got this all apart, I'm going to go ahead, take the carburetor off quick. This should just take me 20 minutes to take this off. Clean the carburetor good. Check and see how the metering diaphragm is, if it's stiff or whatever. And then throw it back on. There's a suction line going to the carburetor here, and I'm going to have to pull that off. It's a little stiff. And I got to get the throttle cable out. Just slide that out like that. Nothing to it. I can take the carburetor over to the workbench, clean it up, check it out. I really should buy a rebuild kit for this, but like I said, I don't want to put a bunch of money into it. I guess I can check and see what a carburetor would run for it, or a rebuild kit if I could get one. Like I said, I had a hard time getting that little grommet. Huh. I'm not able to blow through that at all. Huh. Maybe that supply side's clogged. That screen's stuck pretty good. Let me get a razor blade and try to pick it out. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my! I thought I was blowing through there clean. You need to pull these screens out and clean them up good. All dirty in there. Eee doggy. I'm gonna put a new screen in there. I do have one of those. All right, we'll put our new screen in. And they just press in. Good. No problem, no problem. And when you put these diaphragms back on, you want to make sure they're lined up properly. You could put it on like this, but then your carburetor's not going to work. So you want to make sure you get it in the way it's supposed to be. You see the 2 pins here? There's holes for the pins there. So you can't mess that up. And there's pins for this, and you can't mess that up. But you could put this in upside down. And if you did, then this little nub's not going to push on the needle valve, and it's not going to open it up to get fuel. I took the diaphragm out, and lo and behold, it looks fine. It's a little stiff, like I said. I held it up to a light, and I don't know if you can see this or not. There it is. There's a crack. There's a crack in that right there. It's cracked right here. It's cracked right here. And because of that, I can't get any suction. I can't get any fuel to run through the carburetor. This is what meters it. So there's a problem right there. I'm going to put it back together. Now I've got another metering diaphragm, but I don't have the right one for this. You can see the little nub on there is a lot smaller than this one. But I'm going to go ahead and put it back together. This is a brand new one. It's just not for this carburetor. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together and see if it'll work. And see if it'll allow the engine to run. And if so, I'm going to go ahead and order one of these. Okay, there's some fluid. This is the return side. This is the supply side. So I'll put this in the fuel, and this should spit it back in there. So I'll go ahead and hit the primer bulb. You should see fuel sucking through here, into the carburetor, out through here, into the primer bulb, and back into the fuel tank, or the fuel that we have here. Now, of course, you'd have a fuel filter on the end of this in your gas tank. There we go, it's starting to pull. Even with the wrong metering diaphragm. See my purge bulb? Now it's starting to spit it back in. Hey, Doug. Now that's not the right metering diaphragm, but it might seal up and be good enough to get this engine to run. That's how it works. It's really common sense. So if you get stuck and wondering where does everything go, just think of the supply side, sucks through. You've got suction from your primer bulb, and then it spits it back into the fuel tank. And if you get the lines hooked up wrong, just switch them around. Fuel cap back on. See how the purge primer bulb works? We're pulling good now. Oh yeah, how about that? Hee doggy. And like I said, that metering diaphragm on the carburetor, the nub on there is about 1/3 the size as the one that goes in there, so it might starve for fuel a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. Might not be getting any fuel. I'm gonna try to full throttle it. I'll get a gasket kit for that carburetor. It's a Walbro carburetor, and then we'll see if she'll fire up and run. All right, obviously I don't want to put a bunch of money into this, so what I did is I ordered a new carburetor rebuild kit from China. Through eBay, and it took about a month to get here. I just hated to give up on this, and now I've got about $14 in it. That was $3.77. And you can see how these are supposed to be. They're supposed to be real flexible. Now let's go throw it on and see if it'll run. Choke on. Oh! Put our filter and cover back on. Now typically you want to tune this, adjust the carburetor with the filter and cover on, but with this one you can't because it's solid. It covers that. So we'll start it up, see how it runs. Should be good, but if it needs a little adjustment I might have to pull this back off. Switch on. Well, she's running good. Beautiful. That was a long project. I hope it was helpful to you. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And I look forward to helping you with other projects online.